Hello everybody, no more tunes, they've taken it away. Doesn't matter if I purchase the music. I'm officially nailed. My last video, it is silenced. So that's the end of the line. I've done it lots regardless, and doesn't matter if I purchase the music. I can't share it with you. That's the rules. Big video here. It's been a crazy 24 hours with Canada. Now, people have been sharing the mandates. Our media has talked about Trudeau's mandates. I've got it all on the inside track from the United States of America, actual insiders in the Biden administration, views obviously from the Republicans, as I have people there too. I could do 2 hours of video easy this morning, and there's much more than just what's listed in this video, but it's gonna have to wait till tomorrow, even though it's breaking news now and people need to know, especially Canadians. But I'm going, sorry, I had to close something. They're giving me stupid pop-ups here now too in Facebook. I'm going to give the breakdown of Russia and China, and there's a lot of troll people, same kind of people that I red flag from the PCC, the Party of the Canadian Constitutionalists. Don't want you, don't need you. And 11,000 followers at my height. There's still about 10,600 left. I've lost 400, but there's still a lot of trolls through that following. I don't pick my followers. I made the mistake of doing the freedom rallies. That was a mistake. Just sharing constitutionalism. I never went into half of what everybody else shared. You'll never find a video of me supporting any radical narratives. It's always all about constitutionalism, what our party can do. Little flash there. And as you all can see, I'm center of my, I guess that's a good thing to show here. I should do a flip real fast and show people who criticize about me driving while my phone's there. Windshield here, and I'm really high in the truck in the captain's chair. This is center of my windshield. I look at you, still see the road, no problem, because you're in the road, but that's neither here nor there. People say what they want to say. Getting back to the resolutions now, we're going to start this off strong. So, I published China. People chime in, nobody likes that. China bad. That's what Canada's taught. People say China is guilty of genocide against Uyghur Muslims, right? That's what they say. Let me tell you by the numbers how it works and the actual real laws, human rights laws, passed unanimously by the P5, and actually most countries in the world. It didn't matter because none of the P5 had shot it down. They all passed it. In 1948, they all unanimously passed it. Russia, China, USA, UK, and France. But beyond that, most of the world did too. Now there's countries that didn't, like Ukraine. Ukraine has zero human rights whatsoever. I had a chess match with the three greatest minds of Ukraine, legal minds of Ukraine. And at the end of it on Twitter, the answer was, yes, Dave, you're right. There are no human rights laws applicable in Ukraine. There never has been since they left the Soviet Union. That's the truth. That is the three highest legal experts in constitutional law. They're professors, doctorates, and they agree there are zero human rights in Ukraine. More than that now, the resolution Russia put forward that I shared China that maps out all the answers. And a lot of people chime in and say, oh, China, Uyghur Muslims, they commit all the human rights atrocities. Oh, really? So how come everybody, every Canadian listening, every First Peoples, how come not one Muslim country voted against China or Russia? Think about that. In the resolution for the Olympic Games was the first one. Resounding majority of countries all vote for China. All the Muslim countries in the world governed by Muslim law voted for China. Voted for China. They don't, not one accuses China of genocide. Only the United States and 54 other nations. Well, who were those 54 other nations? UK's Commonwealth countries, including Canada. Now, there's been a huge change with Barbados and many others, even New Zealand. New Zealand's been fighting back somewhat. They just did a resolution by Russia that China passes, and so does a majority of the General Assembly countries in the entire world. Only 2 countries voted no. One is the United States of America, and that resolution was on countries of Nazi builds. That's colonialism, folks. That's Russia taking my works and putting it forward. For all those who follow me and still follow me, have been around a long time, you saw my resolution for the First Peoples. I put that resolution, I presented it to China and all P5. Russia has presented 3 back-to-back resolutions on the resolution we all drafted. I told you they would change it, they would vary it to different wording. Every time and every version for the last 3 months, Russia has won majority of the UN General Assembly, and only the United States vetoes it. Of course, UK abstains, France abstains. Why? Because they're participating in colonialism. What's happened with Joe Biden? Awakening. Republicans pressuring, my friends in the Republican Party, pressuring, experts pressuring, Biden learning from my experts, advising the Biden administration, top 10 legal experts all over the USA and many, many states, absolutely the top legal institutions in the United States of America, including New York, where I am on the Bar Association. We watched Rudy Giuliani get kicked out. I got accepted. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I was a little bit worried that I was going to get painted with some kind of brush there. They accepted me anyway. They said, it's fine. You're doing well. That's okay. Unbelievable, but it's true. And I have all the Zooms to prove it. I get to participate in these events all over the United States of America, more so than any other Canadian, and I don't have a law degree. Not a master, not even close. But I read a lot. I read a tremendous amount. I work very, very hard. I research extremely hard, and I have a lot of terrific legal minds, doctorates. You'll find them on Twitter. They engage with me all the time. And what's happened is America's woken up. So what has Justin Trudeau done in the last 24 hours? A lot of you and the opposition conservatives talk about the mandates by Justin Trudeau. We hear about it in the news. Fighting back, as O'Toole said, against steel tariffs. America first. That's not the reality, folks. That's always been there. They haven't relaxed that since Donald Trump, and neither is Joe Biden. Because America first does not belong to President Donald Trump. He didn't create it. The media was 125% wrong about that. America first was, as I stated, and I have pushed and published and shown the top legal minds in America. America first was created in 1924. And because of America First, that was the last of the Indian Wars in the United States of America. Ended, zero, done, finito. More than 90 years before Canada's silent Indian Wars that still rage on today. In colonialism, in colonial build, which is exactly like Nazi Germany. Why I'm talking about all this? Russia's last 3 resolutions passing by a majority and all the states voting for them and backed up by China. Now, France and UK abstained, USA vetoes, and the other country that votes no, Ukraine, with 0 human rights, none whatsoever. Climate activists just lost. Why did they lose? Because peace and security is not for climate change. Climate change belongs in social, economic, and political convention, which passed unanimously again and absolutely approved by every nation in the UNSC P5 and by a majority of the General Assembly. It's world binding law. That's where climate goes, not in peace and security. Has nothing to do with human rights. There's a lot to go through there, but vetoed nonetheless by USA, who's learning the mistake because the world is turning against them. Now, America won't be hurt. UK is in big trouble. And you know why? Because now China and Russia both know that one, Prime Minister Boris Johnson, sits on the board of the UK Commonwealth run by Her Majesty. You're not allowed to interfere in the governing processes of any countries. You can't build empires in today's world. You can't directly affect international law. Boris Johnson thinks because him and Biden signed the new UN Charter, Atlantic Charter of 2021, that somehow they can erase all international world binding laws. Doesn't work that way. You would have to abandon the UN Charter of 1945 and delegitimize every international binding law. If they do that today, the world will turn on the United States of America. You can say, oh, geez, what's the big deal of that? Well, the American dollar, for one. That's huge. It's not a gold standard anymore. There's a lot going on. Canada's fighting back against the United States of America, and the only reason why Commonwealth countries are voting against China and Russia, against the rest of the world entirely, and there's a lot of democracies there, folks, a lot more in comparison, when only USA is truly the only real democracy on this other side. UK's Commonwealth is not democracy. They're not democracy. They're ruled by crown autocracy with King's Court. It's corrupt. China and Russia are zooming in on it. They're zooming in on it right now, and the rest of the world's backing them up. It doesn't bode well for Canada. Canada's fighting USA in the name of Her Majesty, which is the royal family, under the 54-nation Commonwealth, under that Commonwealth Charter 2012. Now, why are our politicians doing that? Why are all these Commonwealth countries doing that? Because systematically, almost all of them stole the crown, as Canada did. When King George VI died. Only a few countries escaped. We're seeing some of them finally get to it. Barbados got to it because Sandra, before she became president, she was Governor General in the same definition of Nazi Germany, meaning the same 2 resolutions for the last 3 months Russia put forward that were shot down, even though they passed in majority. shot down by the USA. USA isn't looking at this the right way. The Biden administration is not looking at it the right way. It would be interesting to see what a Republican government would do. I don't know, guys. Canada is in deep, deep doo-doo. But what's amazing, everybody, is the work that I've gone about doing is seeing fruition. Everything that everybody got involved with me, which is all on YouTube. For those who don't know, go look. It's real, it's verifiable, it's credible. And, I don't know. We'll see. If I can't win Canadians over the next year and get this party built, and if Canada is destined for going down the toilet, I have to decide where I'm going in life. And the monumental works, maybe I have to do from the outside looking in. Maybe that's what I got to do. I don't want to. I want to see my people successful. I want to see First Nations successful. But it's very, very hard when so many are institutionalized. So many can't look at things as they really are. I publish the results of Russia's resolution. I have another whole rollout of Russia and what they say, and they show all the voting countries. You can clearly see not one Muslim country voted against. Not for China's Olympics. They all voted for China. They do not support any genocide accusation against China and the Uyghurs. And for everybody, again, 1,400 million Chinese in a landmass smaller than Canada. Huge population, 1 million Uyghurs, and you're going to tell me at that ratio versus Canada, at really 37 Canadians and a little over 1 million of all First Peoples in all definitions, 37-1 on genocide versus 200-1 on genocide, you don't win it. And also, Canadians, you don't know the pure definition of genocide. The world makes fun of you. It starts with children and clear crimes against children. You will find Uyghur Muslim children are not being genocided. They're not being removed from schools, put in facilities, removed from their parents. Are parents being removed who are engaging in activities against the state? Having too many children in a densely populated landmass, the most densely populated landmass on this earth today? Before you throw out accusations and you jump on bandwagons, look at it as it really is. And there are many, many islands all over the world, in the other areas of the world, super densely populated. Canada is not one of those places. However, when you look at the landmass available to Canadians, it is extremely small. While this country is big, the first-class citizens hold a whopping majority of the land, which they utilize for foreign interests, and very few domestic Canadian businesses have access to it. Definitely none of the domestic second class and zero third class have any rights, let alone any privilege in those lands. You can't go there to settle, house, or nothing. Neither can the First Peoples. That is Canada. That's the autocracy. Much, much worse than the land available to every Chinese person. You can look all this up. It's fact. And these resolutions keep coming. The ones that we put forward to all P5 keep coming by Russia and China. It's going. They match our narrative. Read them and weep. And the world is gravitating to that work. Colonialism is breaking down more and more with every resolution presented. 3 months straight, it's breaking down. The royal family is getting kicked around. The Biden administration is realizing this is wrong. We've been duped. And now it's a matter of what are they going to do with Ukraine, who, again, everybody has not bound a single human rights law in the entire world. They even have Nazi-style regimes. They run in a crown colonial system now. The most corrupt nation in a 10,000 diameter radius of 5, but 10,000 diameter circle with a circumference that's huge. The worst of the worst, most corrupt countries. You can't find a world-renowned economist to dispute this fact I share with all of you. That comes from being a massive human rights violator. Nowhere close to the Russian Federation. Whether you like their governing system or not, it's not about that. You can ask China and they'll tell you, and they have a track record to prove to you, if you don't want communism, no problem, they'll back you. And they have. Because South Africa got freed and got full democracy, we the people, and supremacy of God. Because that's what the majority of South Africans wanted. Black and the minority white, the oppressors. And they do well today. There's land back too. When you look at Canada, unceded land, crown lands of treaty, it's pathetic. We need to settle. And if you wait, Canadians and all First Peoples, there will be nothing for you. Your governments will blow all the money, filling all the first-class pockets, till all that land is to be dispersed to foreign creditors. And you are in a third world status. It's coming. If you don't believe it, just look at the Commonwealth of countries that holds 30% of the world's population. Well, who's in there? Well, let's look at India. 1.2 billion people. 1,200 million people. And Canada's funding that. You're funding that. Your country is being blown away. You're increasing your debt level beyond any rhyme or reason. All regions, all federal systems, by each passing party, you continually slave debt against all current taxpayers and absolutely the entire next generation of third class for sure. You're wiping out everybody and everyone to come. They keep rolling it over. Print money, take on debt. This is done in the name of the Commonwealth. No rhyme or reason. You won't find any of the P5 in any comparison doing what Canada's politicians, federally and provincially, are doing to all of you at an unprecedented rate, let alone a massive immigration program that they say has to be done with absolutely no primary sector creation whatsoever, just more and more service sector. Unsustainable. And where does the sustainable development goals come from? The UN Charter 2012. The UK royal family crafted it in the early 90s. That's the start of it. And the Commonwealth's been adding to it until they transferred the power of all Commonwealth countries to pursue international law to the royal family. And now we have Prime Minister Boris Johnson sitting on that board over the Commonwealth, which is illegal in international law, and now USA wakes up to it. So now they're starting to punish the Commonwealth countries, which means punish Canada. So Trudeau outlines mandates with the Privy Council to start taking on Joe Biden through the Commonwealth. Where do you see Canada in the next few years? And if you think it's only Trudeau, think again. O'Toole is down for this. He just spoke about it today. He's down for it. He's with UK. We have to follow UK. Yes, because all of you get to keep your crown as long as you give the power to the royal family and you agree to the Commonwealth Charter, removing all of Canada's rights to international law, which is all real human rights in this world today. Russia knows it, China knows it, and they're fighting to free you. They just showed you today. I showed all of you. And what do you get? Lunatics chiming in saying, oh, China's the human rights violator, with zero evidence. And what's funny, not one Muslim country to back up your claims. Only a very few Christian-based countries tied to the Commonwealth or the veto wielder, the United States of America. That's it. And now they want to fight USA too. Where is Canada going to be? Just so the politicians can keep their crown. My mission clearly now must focus solely on the United States of America. I have Russia awoken. I have China awoken. We're winning on those stages. America is almost there. There's a lot of work. The media is shifting both left and right. I am extremely happy with the Washington Post the other day, but it's not enough, and I have to get aggressive. We have to get aggressive. You're going to see monumental works in the new year. This is my video. This has to be shared. It's huge. Look at my last few posts. That's real. That's your country, Canada. Voting against Nazi systems, racism. Well, why would they vote against that? I thought Trudeau was against racism and Nazism. Was all about that. Read the resolution. If Trudeau was to sign it, he would have to give up his colonial system because of our presented resolution. You, the few Canadians, the 1,600 who signed and helped craft that resolution. Russia and China are banging it out left, right, and center. Read it, folks. Read the last two. Passed by majority, vetoed by USA, and it absolutely abstained by all of the Commonwealth countries, or a good majority of them. Each passing resolution becomes less and less with Commonwealth countries. The royal family's losing. The pen is mightier than the sword, and just a few of us, the 1,600, were able to deliver a mighty blow. The UNSC's working for us, the few, and it's only going to get better. Only going to get better. Thanks. Again, share. Big video. Bye now.